My first journal review on 31st December, after my first year doing the miracle morning and writing in my journal, I began reading the first page I had written that year. Day by day, I started to review and relive my entire year. I was able to revisit my mindset from each day and gain a new perspective as to how much I had grown throughout the year. I re examined my actions, activities, and progress, giving me a new appreciation for how much I had accomplished during the past 12 months. Most importantly, I recaptured the lessons I had learned, many of which I had forgotten over the course of the year. Gratitude 2.0. I also experienced a much deeper quality of gratitude in a way that I had never experienced before, on two different levels simultaneously. It was what I now refer to as my first back to the future moment. Try to follow me here, and feel free to picture me as Marty McFly stepping out of a 1985 DeLorean. As I read through my journal, my current self, which was also the future self of who I was at the time I wrote those journal entries, was now looking back at all of the people, experiences, lessons, and accomplishments that I took note of being grateful for throughout the year. As I was in that moment reliving the gratitude that I felt in the past, I was simultaneously feeling grateful in the present moment for how far I had come since that time in my life. It was a remarkable experience and a bit surreal. Accelerated growth. Then I began to tap into the highest point of value I would gain from reviewing my journals. I pulled out a sheet of blank paper, drew a line down the middle, and wrote two headings at the top: Lessons learned and new commitments. As I read through my hundreds of my journal entries, I found myself recapturing dozens of valuable lessons. This process of recapturing lessons learned and making new commitments to implement those lessons aided my personal growth and development more than almost anything else. While there are many worthwhile benefits of keeping a daily journal, a few of which I've just described, here are a few more of my favorites. Gain clarity. The process of writing something down focuses us to think through it enough to understand it. Journaling will give you more clarity, allow you to brainstorm, and help you work through problems. Capture ideas. Journaling helps you not only expand your ideas, but also prevents you from losing the important ideas that you may want to act on the future. Review lessons. It enables you to review all of the lessons you've learned. Acknowledge your progress. It's wonderful to go back and reread your journal entries from a year ago and see how much progress you've made. It's one of the most empowering, confidence inspiring, and enjoyable experiences. It can't really be duplicated any other way. Gap focus. Is it hurting or helping you? In the opening pages of this chapter, we talked about using the lifesavers to close your potential gap. Human beings are conditioned to have what I call gap focus. We tend to focus on the gaps between where we are in life and where we want to be, between what we've accomplished and what we could have or want to accomplish. And the gap between who we are and our idealistic vision of the person we believe we should be. The problem with this is that constant gap focus can be detrimental to our confidence and self-image, causing us to feel like we don't have enough, haven't accomplished enough, and that we are simply not good enough, or at least not as good as we should be. High achievers are typically the worst at this, constantly overlooking or minimizing their accomplishments, beating themselves up over every mistake and imperfection, and never feeling like anything they do is quite good enough. The irony is that gap focus is a big part of the reason that high achievers are high achievers. They are insatiable desire to close the gap is what fuels their pursuit of excellence and constantly drives them to achieve. Gap focus can be healthy and productive if it comes from a positive, proactive, I am committed to and excited about fulfilling my potential perspective, without any feeling of lack. Unfortunately, it rarely does. The average person, even the average high achiever, tends to focus negatively on their gaps. The highest achievers, those who are balanced and focused on achieving level 10 success in nearly every area of their lives, are exceedingly grateful for what they have, regularly acknowledge themselves for what they've accomplished, and are always at peace with where they are in their lives. It's the dueling idea that I'm doing the best that I can in this moment, and at that time I can and will do better. This balanced self-assessment prevents that feeling of lack, of not doing enough, while still allowing them to constantly strive to close their potential gap in each area. Typically, when a day, week, month, or year ends and we are in gap focus mode, it's almost impossible to maintain an accurate assessment of ourselves and our progress. For example, if you had 10 things on your to-do list for the day, even if you completed 6 of them, your gap focus causes you to feel you didn't get everything done that you wanted to do. The majority of people do dozens, even hundreds of things right during the day and a few things wrong. Guess which things people remember and reply in their minds over and over again. Doesn't it make more sense to focus on the 100 things you did right? Sure, it is more enjoyable. What does this have to do with writing in a journal? Writing in a journal each day with a structured, strategic process. More on that in a minute. Allow you to direct your focus to what you did accomplish, what you are grateful for, and what you are committed to doing better tomorrow. Thus, you more deeply enjoy your journey each day, feel good about any forward progress you made, and use a heightened level of clarity to accelerate your results. Effective journaling. Here are 3 simple steps to get started with journaling or improve your current journaling process. 1. Choose a format, digital or traditional. You will want to decide upfront if you want to go with a traditional, practical lined journal or go with a digital journal, such as on your computer or an app for your phone or tablet. Having used both traditional and digital, there are advantages and disadvantages to both formats, which I'll address in a minute. But it really comes down to your personal preference. Do you prefer to write by hand, or would you rather type your daily journal entries? That should make it a relatively simple decision as to which format to use. 2. Get a journal. When it comes to a traditional journal, while just about anything can work, you can even use a cheap spiral notebook. Since you're possibly going to have it for the rest of your life, there is something to be said about getting a nice, durable journal that you enjoy looking at. Get a journal that is not only lined but also dated with room to write for all 365 days of the year. I found that having a pre-designed and pre-designated dated space to write keeps me accountable to follow through each day. Since I can't help but notice when I miss a day or two because they are blank, this usually motivates me to go back and mentally review those missed days and catch up my journal entries. It's also nice to have dated journals for every year, so you can easily go back and review any time in your life and experience those benefits I described about in my first journal review. One of my favorite lined dated journals is the Winner's Journal, which I used from 2007 to 9 and was very pleased with the results. In fact, it's what inspired me to design and create the Miracle Morning Journal, which is now available on Amazon.com. You can even download a free sample of the Miracle Morning Journey at the website given below. If you prefer to use a digital journal, there are also many choices available. My favorite journaling app is 5-Minute Journal, available at 5minutejournal.com, and it's becoming very popular. It makes it easy by giving you prompts such as I am grateful for and what would make today great. It takes only 5 minutes or less and includes an evening option, which allows you to review your day and even upload photos to create visual memories. Again, it really comes down to your preference and which features you want. Just type online journal into Google or journal into the App Store. and you will get a variety of choices.